Thinking of the world that God has made and thinking of our animal for these 2 weeks, Gordo Gorilla, I have a cutting exercise. Here I have some food that's trapped, and it's also trapped onto the table. So I'm going to move my tripod. I found it. I have some food that's trapped and ready to be eaten by the gorilla, but we have to get to it. Then I also have some other animals trapped. And in this, you can divide them into groups. Some are plant eaters, some are eat other animals, some might even cross over and eat both plants and animals. So those that are plant eaters only are herbivores. Those that eat both meat and plants are omnivores, and those that eat only meat are called carnivores. I almost blanked out as to which one it is. So to do this little exercise, Miss Jen provided scissors for you. And we went through and we cleaned them because these scissors get, lots of love and lots of attention. And with the bleach that we're using on them, they're starting to rust, and maybe they're only rusting on some other surface that's there, but we've really had to clean them, and we even threw away some. So if you have a scissors that you feel needs more TLC, just let us know, or if it has rust on it, just toss it and we'll get another pair, unless you have an idea of how to get rid of it. On my hand, I drew a bird, and I made some silly eyes and gave it some feathers, so it kind of looks like hair. And sometimes it really helps to do something like this to remember that this goes up instead of turning down. And then I even drew a beak, but if you want it to be an alligator, you could easily draw some alligator teeth and a snout and so on. But this is a good way to practice cutting. So the thumb goes in the smaller one and it's up, because a bird wants to see the food that it's eating and not be upside down. Only bats are hanging upside down when they're resting. That's a pretty cool thing that they can do that. I don't really want to hang upside down, but I think it would be kind of an interesting way to sleep. Not for very long, but it still would be interesting at least once. And then your other fingers, though you can probably fit all four of them, will go under. Now, sometimes when we cut, as we're younger, we just kind of extend the arm out. What you want to do is bring the arm so it's closer to your body. Okay? Then as you do that, I want you to see if you can set the food free. Now, it's kind of sticky, so when you're cutting through this, if you find that the tape sticks to your scissors, just do what you can with your other hand. But see if you can try to just hold on to the tray with one hand, because that's what you're going to do when you are having a piece of paper and cutting. And then try to cut the fruit free. Now I cut that free. Now I'm going to try cutting over here. Now this makes kind of a fun way of cutting, though you might have to rescue the scissors because now it's kind of stuck on the tape. And continue cutting. Oh, this is stuck. Oh, now it's stuck on the table. So now I'm going to continue cutting. Oops, I'm off the camera now. Cutting over here. Now I need to set it free. And now I need to cut it over here. And this is just a great way to practice developing your fine motor skills, and just a fun way of cutting. Now, as I'm doing this, I notice that my arm is extending out from my body, so I want to bring it in closer to my body and then just continue cutting the food free. And I use one hand to cut, going forward, not upside down, because sometimes it's easy to twist that hand down, but cutting and freeing that fruit. All right, so now what I get to do afterwards is take my hand that I like to work with and tear off the tape. So this hand is holding the object and this one is tearing it off. But if you want to do that with both hands, that's okay. And when you're doing that, you're using your fine motor skills, again, your pincher fingers, to take the tape off of the fruit. But it's fun to do it with both hands. So if you want to do that, go for it. But when we're developing our fine motor skill grip that we need for writing, this is a wonderful way to do it that doesn't involve just paper and pencil. There's so many ways, and sometimes we forget. Now, as we take a look at it, we see there's not just fruit that the gorilla eats, though there are some gorillas that eat just fruit and some that eat fruit and bugs. So when you go and watch National Geographic for kids on your own, at home or when you watch it at school on Friday, you get to see some of the different kinds of gorillas that God has made. And there are some that eat primarily fruit, and then some that eat fruit and ants or termites. I didn't find any ants or termites in our group. Thank God for no real termites, but I have some fruit and insects. Who knows? Maybe an occasional grasshopper or butterfly sneaks into their diet. Now here are the animals that eat a variety of foods. So here again, I'm taking my scissors and my eyes are up, and my beak is going for the food, and I'm using my other hand, to hold the tray in place, and I'm cutting. And I can cut any direction that I want to cut. And this is just a fun little exercise, great way to practice this skill. And now you can just take your fingers and take care of the tape. So now you can check out some of the animals God has made. Even though this little guy looks very cute, he's one of the more dangerous animals, or the most dangerous animal in Africa. Fruit bats, vampire bats, drink blood, but don't harm the animal beyond that. Fruit bats pollinate flowers or drink the nectar of fruits. We have some herbivores, though I wonder if he can sometimes scrounge up animals or insects in the ground. We have carnivore, another herbivore, carnivore, but if he eats seaweed, and that's something I'd have to double check with. Herbivore, carnivore, herbivore, probably herbivore, but it could be omnivore if it eats plants and fish. Bugs, hammerhead shark, definitely carnivore. Here's our diplodocus, or long neck, herbivore, carnivore. Here's a cow, herbivore, and a goat, herbivore. So lots of great creatures that God has made. So you can also talk about when God made these creatures. So take time and do a fun exercise with tape to capture some food that the gorillas might eat and set it free. Or capture some animals that you have lying around at your house and set them free. And now comes the fun part, just releasing all of the tape on your tray. No matter how young you are, playing or using trays from the kitchen is a great way to learn. Whether you're baking or playing with Jell-O or whatever you're doing, there's lots of ways to learn. So have a great day, everyone.